What is the difference between coaching and mentoring and consulting and teaching and all the things? That was a question that I received from one of my coaching skills diploma students this week. Inside of the coaching skills diploma, we do talk at considerable length about the difference between coaching and counselling, because that's really important to understand that distinction. But this student asked me this week, well, you've told me about the difference between coaching and counselling, and we've touched on the difference between coaching and consulting, but what's the difference between coaching and mentoring? The thing is, there are a number of different disciplines that all fall into the consulting, coaching, counseling space. And so in this video, I'm going to try and explain my understanding and my definition for what some of those are. And hopefully it will help you too. So first of all, looking at coaching. Well, I believe that coaching is a discrete set of skills that are designed for a purpose. And you don't need to have had any experience in the subject matter that you're helping a client with. So coaching is all about helping your client to make the right decisions for them. So getting clarity on what is the right path for them, helping them to see the options that are available to them before they make that decision. And the result is that they do have clarity and certainty that they're making the right decision for them being the unique individual they are. So coaching isn't so much about the content as it is about the process and helping your client reach clarity and make decisions for themselves. Mentoring, on the other hand, well, I see mentoring as being, hey, look, I did this thing. You want to do that same thing. Let me show you what I did. So I think mentoring is often mistaken for coaching, and when somebody who has achieved something, they really want to give back by showing someone else how they did what they did. It's the, let me show you the way path. So I quite commonly see mentors describe themselves as coaches. And do you know what? It actually makes a lot of sense, because sports coaches are where the term comes from, and it makes sense to make that correlation. And sports coaches are often mentors. They're often people who have had success in a particular sport, and then they want to train other athletes in how to reach the heady heights that they did. And I think that's where a lot of the confusion lies, where what we call coaches in the sports field are actually mentoring. They're actually saying, hey, look, I've done this thing. You want to have the same success that I had. Let me show you what I did. So to me, that's mentoring. And I see that a lot in a lot of the online coaching space where people are sharing their process. They are teaching something and they're helping people along the way. So they're not just giving them the content. They're saying, hey, look, here's the way that I did this thing. Let me show you how I did it. Then we move on to consulting. So consulting is more recommending that you do something. So coaching is, let me help you find your way. Mentoring is, hey, I did this thing, let me show you how I did it. Consulting is, I recommend that you do this. So consulting is advising based on the information that you provide your consultant and their assessment of your circumstances. So they don't need to have walked your same path, but they can advise which path is right for you and what you need to do in order to make it to the end of that path. So consulting is, let me advise and recommend. But they're not in there helping you or holding your hand as you go through the process all the time. And then finally, teaching. So teaching is, let me tell you how to do something. And teachers don't necessarily have to have done the thing that they're teaching. Their skill comes in understanding how to get their information across in a learning environment that is going to help you get the best from their knowledge. So I know there's still some overlap between all of these different disciplines, but I hope that's helped to give you some clarity about where coaching sits in relation to mentoring, consulting, and teaching. And if you'd like to learn more, then click the links below, and I'd love to see you on the other side.